Arnar Gunnlaugsson walked into the pre-match press conference with the calmness of someone who has things clear. It was not the typical attitude of a coach about to face the world champions in a friendly. It was the attitude of a man who wanted to make something clear before the opening whistle. And he did. He said several things that, hours later, the match itself would answer for him. But before talking about him, we need to put into context what happened last night in Alabama. Because the setting alone was already extraordinary. Auburn's Jordan-Hare Stadium, one of those giants of American college sports with a capacity of more than 87,000 people, hosted this friendly between Argentina and Iceland as the final part of the preparation before the 2026 World Cup. And that stadium, built for college football, welcomed Lionel Messi. This time, yes, on the field, recovered from the muscle issue that kept him out against Honduras, ready to play. And that alone was already reason enough for 87,000 people to have their eyes locked on every one of his movements from the moment he stepped onto the pitch. With Messi coming on in the second half, the Argentine national team defeated Iceland 3-0 with goals from Valentin Barco, Lionel Messi, and Thiago Almada in the last preparation friendly before their World Cup debut. The first goal came in the 7th minute with a volley from Barco from outside the box, after a cross from Lo Celso and several rebounds inside the 6-yard box. El Colo waited, connected first time, and the ball went in right next to the post. A golazo, his first goal in an Argentina shirt in 4 matches. In the second half, Scaloni changed the team. The starters came on, DePaul, Enzo Fernandez, Mac Allister, Lautaro came on, and Messi came on. The captain had 21 minutes on the field, and that was enough. With the first ball he touched, he set up Lautaro with a pinpoint pass that left him one-on-one with the goalkeeper. The Icelandic keeper stopped him with a foul, penalty, and Messi took charge, 2-0. With that goal, he became the oldest goal scorer in the history of the Argentine national team. One more record, as if the list were not already endless. The third came in the 87th minute, with a quick counterattack that Almada finished without hesitation. 3-0. Match over. Preparation complete. But the most interesting story of the night did not happen on the field. It happened in the press conferences, before and after the match. And the main protagonist was Arnar Gunnlaugsson, Iceland's head coach. Gunnlaugsson is Icelandic, a former footballer, and he took charge of his country's national team in January of last year. Iceland did not qualify for the World Cup, arrived as an invited team for this friendly, and Gunnlaugsson chose this week to speak with a level of forcefulness that, honestly, surprised more than a few people. Before the match, during the press conference, when he was asked about Argentina, about Messi, about how he planned to set up against the world champions, he said something that generated headlines across Europe and in much of the American continent. He said Argentina is the best team in the world, and he did not stop there. He went even further. "I think when you are the world champion, you know everything about the game," Gunnlaugsson declared. A phrase that sounded like genuine respect, but also like something more. Because the Icelandic coach was not just talking about the Argentine national team in the abstract, he talked about Messi, and he talked about him in a way that revealed exactly the mental level this match had for the opponent. Gunnlaugsson was also honest about Iceland's campaign in the UEFA qualifiers. Without dodging anything, he admitted that his team had not been at the level required to qualify for the World Cup. "When we analyzed that competition, we did not deserve to advance. Too many details failed," he said. And then he looked ahead. "Overall, the feeling is good. We are very competitive against strong teams. We will continue like this and try to absorb everything better." That, to his credit, must be recognized. Gunnlaugsson did not come just for the photo. He came with an idea, with the intention of learning, of measuring himself, of taking something clear from it. Aware of the gap between both squads, the Icelandic coach made it clear that the value of this match for Iceland was in the experience, in the learning, in what could serve the future of that group. That is what he said before. Before the match spoke for him, because the match spoke, loud and clear. Argentina 3, Iceland 0, with Messi playing barely 21 minutes, without Dibu in goal, without Julian Alvarez still recovering, without several of the players who will be there from the first minute in the World Cup debut, and even so, 3-0. Then came the post-match press conference, and there, the same man who hours earlier had said that Argentina is the best in the world, and that when you are world champion, you know everything about the game, stood in front of the microphones and gave a different analysis. More raw, more honest, maybe more honest than everything he had said before. Gunnlaugsson openly admitted that Argentina had been superior in every line, that Iceland had tried to press high when it could, but that the opponent's quality eventually overwhelmed them. And there was something else that caught attention. The Icelandic coach talked about Messi again. about what he generated when he came on, about how he changed the match in the minutes he was on the field, as if what he had said beforehand, that Argentina knows everything about the game when it is world champion, was actually a way of talking about one single person. And there is the paradox. Because Gunnlaugsson, with all his previous statements about Argentina, about the quality of the world champion, about the level this team has, deep down was talking about Messi. It always ended with Messi, as if it were impossible to talk about Argentina without the name of the number 10 appearing in the conversation. As if the Argentine national team and Lionel Messi were two different things that football still does not know how to separate. And that, paradoxically, is one of the greatest compliments that can be paid to Leo. Because this time, Messi did play. He came on in the second half, 21 minutes, scored a penalty that broke a historic record, assisted the third goal, and was the story of the night. With 87,000 people in Alabama who took only seconds to react when they saw him stand near the box to take the penalty. The stadium transformed. That is what Messi generates in 2026, days away from what will almost certainly be his last World Cup. He does not need to create magic with every touch to be the story. It is enough for him to come on, to touch the ball once, to stop it, and look up. The field finds him. The match finds him. The goal finds him. There is something almost unreal in all of this. Something that years from now we will remember with the same nostalgia we feel today when we think about the greats from other eras. Because Messi is about to play his last World Cup, and everything that is happening in these friendlies, in this preparation, in these matches where he comes on for 21 minutes and ends up becoming the topic of the opposing coach's press conference, is part of something that will not happen again. The world champions will begin the defense of their title on Tuesday, June 16th, against Algeria at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Then on the 22nd against Austria, and on the 27th against Jordan. A group that, on paper, Argentina should get through without too many problems. But in a World Cup, nothing is simple. Nothing is guaranteed, and Messi knows that better than anyone. The Icelandic head coach, as he closed his press conference, said while laughing, "It is unfair to face Messi. He makes everything look easy. I have no doubt he will have a great World Cup. He deserves it." Gunnlaugsson, with his phrase about how the world champion knows everything about the game, unintentionally said the most important thing of the week, that opposing coaches build their analyses around this team. That talking about Argentina is talking about Messi, always. Even if he is already 38 years old, even if he arrived with a muscle issue, even if he only plays 21 minutes. And in a few days, when the anthem plays in Kansas City, and Messi lifts his eyes toward the stands with that calmness he has before big matches, something in the atmosphere will change. Something that is difficult to describe with words, but that anyone who saw him in Qatar understands perfectly. There are players who win matches. There are players who win championships. And there is only one in the entire history of this sport who turns every appearance into a memory people will tell for decades. That is Messi. The same one who last night came on for 21 minutes in Alabama, scored a goal, broke a historic record, and became the central topic of the opposing coach's press conference after the match. What is coming in this World Cup is history, and we will be here to tell it.